Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
Hey now, and 3.
Number 2.
1.
Woohoo!
America, you are welcome. Very, very welcome. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is David Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Time stamping this puppy on Sunday evening. I have spent the day at another.
You're like a football game fiend.
Man, and I've been to more Texans games this year than I may have hit the record. I think they've made as many as I've ever been to since they've been in existence. Well, maybe not, but so my third game of the year. Mostly because of these guys that we tailgate with. You sort of you join in, and you just don't want to let let folks down.
It becomes that. My son's part of a tailgate group at LSU, and they kick in a few $100 each, but then he gets all ticked off because then they let other people come in and eat their food and everything.
It's a culture, man. It's and I see these guys do it, but it is don't kid yourself. Tailgating is expensive.
Dude, it is. Yeah.
I don't maybe
not
back
just the food, but all the supplies and
and very fortunate. We have a friend that said before the fanbulance. It's an ambulance that has been kind of modified.
Where do you buy an ambulance?
You can buy ambulances. You can probably go on. He found it online, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's somebody who has one like that at LSU.
Yeah, I mean, because they eventually take ambulances out of service, and they still can roll. But so yeah, you do that. What I found funny at this particular tailgate. So these guys bring something pretty serious, man. These guys bring some serious food. And today we're playing Buffalo. So, of course, somebody brought something with buffalo in it. I was thinking, well, gee, what are we going to do when we play the Dolphins? I mean, seriously, like, like we play the Colts. Are we going to eat horse?
Yeah,
I mean, but
they do that, and they play LSU and they play Arkansas. Somebody barbecue the hog or grill the hog. Same thing when they play Florida and the Gators.
So, and what it's interesting is these people, a few of them, are competitive grillers. They do this. They enter contests. One of the guys, Donald, the guy that put out the fire last week. Oh, that's the other thing too. If you didn't know what I'm talking about, go back and listen to last week's podcast, y'all. But I found out today that Mark, the guy with the ambulance, ordered a couple of I guess fire blankets or something.
So just
we woke up everybody
first, man.
Yeah, safety. But so they cook all these things. So I was thinking, I usually just bring desserts. I'll do, I'm not cooking anything. I'm not pre-cooking anything to bring or having my wife do it. I'm just gonna, I'll hit HEB, and I don't mind. I'll buy a bunch of desserts and stuff like that. And this time I was like, well, nobody really said what they're bringing. So I said, look, I'm going to bring a sleeve of hamburgers. You go to Sam's, you get the bill with a sleeve of hamburgers. I'm bringing some hot dogs. And man, I got some grief on the like teasing on the hot dogs. I was like, man, we haven't had hot dogs at that tailgate since when somebody's kid was 10, and I'm catching all this grief about it.
So that's right, man. I'm trying to catch you up.
Well, and I was just joking back, saying, hey, look, that's one of the top food groups. I'm sorry. You just turn your head when we throw the hot dogs on there, because I'm looking forward to hot dogs. Well, man, let me tell you something. With all the good food, and there was good food, there was all kinds of stuff. The hottest moving item at that tailgate was those hot dogs. people.
Dude, and we've talked about this. I like hot dogs, and I don't need the fancy ones. Yeah, good. Give me a good Oscar Mayer.
Yeah, these were like ballpark beef. You could buy the
Yeah,
big, 24, 20 whatever in a pack at Sam's and fancied it up a little bit, had mustard and relish and I was just laughing. I was like, "Uh-huh, uh-huh. All right. I might not be a gourmet, but I know what people eat."
and get some good Johnson Brothers hot dogs. That's some good hot dogs right there.
Yeah. I'll look at that I'll look at that next time. But good game today. The Texans won with 2 seconds left.
That's crazy.
Field goal, yeah. Well, we were up the whole game and then tried to figure out a way to lose it. But then we're not able to lose it. And Texans are 4-1, which an
Yeah.
unimpressive 4-1, but 4-1 is 4-1. So there it is.
Saints play the Chiefs on
Tomorrow.
Monday night, so I'm pretty sure I won't be stressing uh over if
Well, we'll
we're
see.
gonna
We'll see.
lose the game at the end. So we'll see.
Well, it's going to probably do. Now, granted, the game is probably on at the same time that this
Yeah, we'll
podcast
be
will,
dropping this. Yep.
whenever it goes in. So let me just go ahead and predict that it was going to be a pass interference call late in the game for the Chiefs, and right, and they're gonna win by 3 with the late. But that's
It's
just
I didn't watch a lot of football, not nearly in the I'm by myself this weekend. So my wife's visiting my stepdaughter in South Carolina. My daughter flew to Miami to see a friend of hers in college. They're both on fall break.
cool.
Um my other son is he flew to Minnesota to visit my other son. So you'd have thought I'd have just sat around and watched football all weekend. Uh but I didn't.
You
And
kept
last night I ended up had a dinner with a friend in New Orleans, one I hadn't seen in a while. I get back about 10. And my wife and I watch TV together all the time. So it's like, all right, now I gotta watch something that she's not gonna watch. So Friday I started watching. She and I had watched Prison Break on Netflix, which
okay.
has gotten good reviews. She didn't like the first one, so we stopped watching it. So I started watching it again. So I started on episode 2 on Friday. I'm when after this podcast, I'm going downstairs to watch episode 20.
Wow.
Dude, I was binging. I watched
You think? Okay. Yeah.
till 3 o'clock this morning. Um, and that's why I kept waking up because I knew you were going to text me at some point this morning to say what time you wanted to do the podcast.
Oh
And I
man.
said, if I sleep through, he's going to say 10 o'clock or something. I'm not going to see it till
No.
11.
No, 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 no. Well, yeah, it's weird because I was sort of not really by myself this week because my wife said it was a church retreat over the weekend. So I haven't seen her since Friday. And then my son comes and goes. He's been working and back and forth. So same. It's weird, man. When you're by yourself, it's almost like it. You don't want to if you're not long enough where you get lonely, but
Right.
it's kind of cool. You just man, you got my big thing is nobody's gonna ask me anything like like, if I need to do anything it's because I need to do it. It's not
Yeah.
and I don't want to make it sound like that, but it's just like, oh, I can go to sleep.
Yeah. It's, I made a list of things I could do. I did about half of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Went and have lunch with my dad today. Tomorrow night's dinner, there were chili Fritos, baby.
Chili Fritos where?
That's what I'm having tomorrow night.
You got that. Oh, so your wife is not.
No, they're not coming back till Tuesday night.
Oh, you got a
So,
long stretch by you. Oh,
yes, yes.
you plan your chili Frito.
I
Have
got
you
my chili Fritos.
if you have the supplies or you have to go do you have to
No,
go
dude, I don't go to the store. Yeah, I got the supply. She took care of it.
I don't go to the store. I got you. I got you. Interesting. So long days. Normally I'd be man Sunday morning by myself. I'd have laid in, but I had to get up at like 6:30, get pack an ice chest and get everything ready to go to the game, and then you just can't get out after, right? So we're there at 8. It starts, whatever. Game starts around noon. Game, and it's hard to get out after. Right? You just because partly because the traffic's terrible, so you got to sit around. But then the guys I go with, They don't move, man.
They don't mind.
They pull the food back out and they they start at it, and a lot of people come visit after and eat after. But this time, my man forgot to turn the lights off of the fanbulance when he
Oh, so
parked
it's
it.
still got like the emergency lights on it?
I must have been the headlights he forgot to
All
take off.
right, all
I
right.
don't know. So dead as a doornail. So I pull my car around, and nobody has jumper cables anymore. But you're walking around, and we get jumper cables trying to jump, from my car, and yeah, and waited with me, couldn't do it. And then these guys, what forget what's I wrote it down the tailgate. Notorious Vatos.
And what does that mean?
I had to look it up. I think it's Spanish. Vatos is just a slang for guys or dudes. So notorious Vatos. I hope that's not a curse word, y'all. I don't know. Tailgate. And they're one of the crew that are right next to us. And I mean, like, they got live bands and just I don't know who these guys are, but I mean everybody knows everybody. And this guy's rig, I even asked one of my friends after, I said, what do you like the truck and the trailer setup they have? It's got like a built-in bar, TVs, whatever. And they pull this grill, but I mean it looks like a stainless steel all kinds of stuff. And a buddy of mine said the trailer they pull goes about $100,000. So that's my thing. And some of the tailgate setups out there are incredible. But so these guys
My
are
first
cool.
house didn't cost that much.
Yeah. So they pull over, and he's got this big truck, and he's got two batteries in this truck, and they're trying, and it took a long time to try to. I mean, the battery was just dead as dead can be. So then we're trying to drive around, or they asked me to get because the parking lot's emptying out, and they usually run us out, but everybody just went home today. So we're trying to find, like, man, we can't leave an ambulance just in the parking lot here. And so I'm driving around, and this guy, I forget his name, but Notorious Vatos, he says, I know I'm gonna get somebody over here. I'm gonna go turn up the music. And he's got a sound system. He says, they'll come shut you down for loud music. And then as he starts playing the music really loud, some kind of, now I don't know if this is the right word I would say it. I'm sure. I don't know if it was mariachi music. They play all kinds of music, rock and
Mm-hmm.
roll and stuff like that. But he put on some. I'm
Some
just gonna.
Vatos music.
Was that?
Some Vatos music.
Exactly. I'm just gonna say that it was it had an ethnic feel to it. It was right, pretty loud. And as soon as he cranks it up, and this is after 20 minutes, 25, 30 minutes trying to jump the ambulance cranked. Okay. So before anybody can run off, and then somebody made a funny joke. Somebody said, man, that ambulance heard that Mexican music play,
They were trying to get out.
thought he was gonna get stolen. So yeah, joke. Joke.
Yeah, the lug nuts automatically tighten.
They laughed. Yeah, those guys. You know what? That's something also. I think I mentioned this before. That one of the things I really do like about going out to these, and it's been a while, so it's sort of hanging out with these tailgaters. It's like the United Nations out there. I mean, every walk of life, every ethnicity you can imagine, and this is Houston. I mean, Houston, is one of the most diverse cities in America. And man, everybody gets along. Even the people that visit.
Yeah,
The
I've
outside.
always tell people that about tailgates in Louisiana. If ever I meet somebody, I'll say I've been to, say LSU game. I said, even if you don't go to the game, go tailgate. And so just walk around, tell them it's your first time there.
So today, where we park, it's toward a corner where they've been doing this for forever because you got a big open area with a yard and stuff, so you have a lot of room. So there's certain spots you can get to where you could really have a lot of room. And my car was parked, pretty close to it. Now look up,
Mm-hmm.
and there's this. I was going to get something out of my car or whatever, and this lady, she's like looking into my mirror, uh,
Your
my
side
side
mirror.
mirror. I guess she had something in her eye, whatever. And, she was like, and I guess her husband standing there with, walked by. I said, hey, you want to get in my car? Turn the lights on. If I can, you want to, I was just kind of kidding about, and she's like, oh, sorry. I said, no, do what you want to. She goes, I could use a napkin if you got one. So I said, let me go find
uh,
you something. Right. And then I realized after I was coming back, they had Buffalo Bills jerseys on, right? With number 0 on them. And I'm like, oh, man, I didn't even look at your jerseys. I can't believe I'm being nice to y'all. We're just kind of kidding. And come to find out they're from Louisiana.
no.
Now they said Iowa.
Yeah, they've got a guy from there that's with Buffalo now.
There you go. I think it was his aunt. I think he
All
was
righty.
either it
And I
was
think
either
his number might be 0.
it is 0. It
Yeah,
was.
that dude's hilarious. When he got drafted, I forgot his name.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that
The
what
guy
he
with
play?
the coat and everything, and he
No,
said,
that's
"Oh no,
him.
I buy my jacket like in the off season. It's cheaper that way."
Well, let me tell you, I met his relatives or friends of the family. Anyway, the people I met were from Iowa, Louisiana. And then they found out I was from, South Lafourche. And we just, again, it's just kind of fun. Like you were just hanging out there, joking around. They're saying, well, you know where it's at? I said, man, I got tickets. Name the city. Name the city along I-10. I got a ticket there and there and there. But I didn't realize, yeah, that was I told him.
Yeah,
I said, well, I said if Zero does anything, I'll pretend to be happy for you. But well, it is funny too. So where these seats are
yeah, you way up.
it was the original seats. So they've kept the same seats since day one. And my friend Kurt, I think in the Texans have been around. I don't know if it's 20 years. It's close to it's
Yeah,
might
it's
be
been a minute.
okay, it's been about 20 years. He's missed less than 10 home games in 20 years for
Wow.
sure. I mean, okay. So there's their seats. And they get offered all the time to drop down a little bit. And they're like, no, that's they just want and they can lean back there and do whatever. But the thing about being in those seats is you quite often have a lot of visiting fans.
Yeah,
And Buffalo travels pretty well. We had a lot of Buffalo people up there. But what's interesting is and it's fun, it's kind of playful, except until you have a jerk. And we had a couple jerk Houston
man.
fans. But the funny thing was, like, the Houston fans, are the fastest to call out other jerk. Like, like one of the guys, guys I was with, I could just hear him all of a sudden yelling at somebody 2 rows down, saying, "Bro, we better than that. We better shut up." When I realized, I was like, "Oh man, we got Houston on Houston aggression here." Just telling
Look, you
telling
get the
them.
wrong fans or the right fans. Way back when I had Saints season tickets, everybody in the section, had been there. Yeah, we were all in the same, like y'all, for years. So you kind of, you knew each other without really knowing each other.
Right,
Your only experience together was 3 hours, on Sundays.
right.
But somebody, I don't know if it was a company that owned some of the seats, and they'd give them away. And when you're a good fan and you've got inexperienced fans around who want to get up 5 times, in the middle of the play and go to the restroom and stuff, these guys would get mad. And like one guy was there, that's it. You got one more time the whole game, and you're not passing. That's that. Yeah, you passed enough. You got one more time. And then
What you
we were
gonna
like right
do?
above. We were right above a portal, and there was a guy standing there on a cell phone, and some people in my section couldn't see because he was just blocking, but he looking up trying to find somebody, and everybody's yelling at this dude to move, and he's just like blowing everybody off. We had a big cup of beer, and he dropped his phone, and it went straight in his beer, and the whole section stood up and applauded the dude.
Well, okay. I thought there was going to be some violence involved. That's
Oh no,
good.
no,
No,
no, man.
yeah, no, no, all good. But yeah, it's I got to get back into this kind. Thankfully, we don't have a home game for 3 weeks.
That's the whole man. When you start doing that every weekend,
It's a bit much. It's a bit much. But so yeah. Besides trying to get the fanbulance jumped and bringing people, I mean, I got home at like 6.
man.
So I know it's but there you go. Go Texans. Good week. I was in Chicago earlier in the week. It's one of those, not surreal. Surreal is not the right word, but it's funny. So I got invited to go to a guy I used to know, a CEO summit. Mostly banking, and I mean I wasn't on the agenda. I just got asked to go, and
Oh, okay.
I saw the list. It's good just to
Yeah, good
go.
networking thing.
Yeah, and you're sitting around, man. You walk into rooms and just realize like, oh my gosh, the money in this room. But it's bizarro world to be sitting like I'm at breakfast, kind of chatting. One of the guys, it's one of the guys I'm sitting there talking to. He's telling me stories. He was one of the folks that co-founder of Capital One.
Ah, yeah, I'm sure he's probably hurting.
Yeah, one of the guys used to be the CEO of Visa. Um, During one of the things, met and guy, the CEO of Charles Schwab, and then met and took a picture with CEO of Wells Fargo and stuff, and it's just really bizarro world. I'm sitting in yeah, I
So not
I
your little
mean
local branch managers is what you're saying.
yeah, no, I'm like rodeo clown sitting there going, huh, how'd I get in this room, but that's good. Here's what I learned. I didn't learn this, but I was reminded of this. And children, all right. So a lot of CEOs, presidents and CEOs, and very senior people of some pretty big operations, and I mean names that. It's one thing when somebody is they've got a title for a company, and you can say, oh, that person is the CEO of a big bank. It's another thing when you actually know the name, like in the industry, like
Yeah, yeah.
okay, big deals. Um, so the second day, I looked at the agenda and it had an early start. I think it started, 7:45 was the opening comments. 8 o'clock was, I guess, when we started. Well, breakfast was available at 6:45. All right, I'm thinking 6:45, man, no freaking way. Because we went the day before, it was a pretty long day, dinner, late, whatever. So I'm gonna bob down there around 7:15 or so, thinking I'm gonna be empty. I'm gonna get some coffee, do it. Dude, CEOs get up in the morning. I got down to the breakfast area. Place was packed, and I was
Yeah,
like,
well, you figure, I mean, those guys, they're not, that's, I think, the misnomer that a lot of people have. Like, yeah, those guys make all this money, they don't do anything.
no,
Those
man,
guys go to work long before you,
no, they're up,
and they
they're
go
up.
home long after you.
And at night, both nights. Then again, I was not. For the record, I was not the guy staying till the end. But they had like a little bar area, and they encourage you, like, hey, I forget the name of the place is. Go hang out and do some.
Hmm.
You don't see any CEOs in the bar at night either, bro. They some vendors, some other, some capital, fund managers and that kind of stuff. Now those guys.
Yeah, the CEOs are probably up in the hotel room doing some more work.
Or or they're not hanging out in a bar. They're not doing
Hmm.
that, and they're up early in the morning. So I was like, makes sense. But it was fun. It's fun to play with
With the
the
big
big boys.
dogs.
Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of funny when they ask me something, or kind of just like, I got an opinion on everything. What you want to know? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it may not be the one you want.
I can pretend like anybody else. Oh, we did. We talked a couple of the at dinner. I mean, and I didn't even want to bring it up. People start talking politics. Or let's put it this way. Let me tell you the guys, the crew that I was sitting with. One of the guys, I will not give his name. I think they just bought a bank or something. Like I don't know where the money come from, but they just bought a bank. And we're talking about various things, and somebody said something about that night was the vice presidential debate. Okay, was that on Monday? Was that no? That was
Tuesday
Tuesday.
night.
Was that Tuesday night? Okay,
Yeah.
so that night was the debate. So somebody made a joke about or some kind of comment at our table for dinner that, you know, want to record. I want to gonna see that. Well, this guy was talking about him and there's like three or four people had met with JD Vance that week, like yeah, like a private
Yeah. Gave a little prep.
private meeting. I'm like, oh, how's JD? You're just gonna oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was he a nice guy? How you doing?
Well, you saw it. Trump returned to Butler, Pennsylvania yesterday, accompanied by Elon.
I watched almost all of it. In fact, I was outside. They put the TV on outside, and I was grilling yesterday. But
Now, why was Elon jumping up and down?
because he's just that kind of guy. Elon's Asperger.
Yeah,
He's he
yeah,
is.
he's on the spectrum. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he talks about it. I mean,
Hmm.
and he just felt excited. He did it. I'm just thinking, but I mean,
No,
like,
but was he talking, or he just stood up and started jumping up and down?
Oh, you didn't see it? You didn't see
No, no. I just
Oh, he
saw.
talked? No, no, no. He probably
No, I knew
talked
he
for
talked, but I just didn't know how he worked in jumping up and down into the
No,
whole deal.
that was just waving and,
Uh,
doing whatever. I mean,
Now, I did see today he's offering $30 an hour to anybody who wants to work to get out the vote effort in some of the battleground states.
look, he's all in. I mean, he's man, again, I know this is something we try, we don't want to get too political, but that's the weird thing that's going on. I think honestly that more and more people are seeing, okay, if they don't do something funky, it it's it looks like Trump's coming back. Yeah, it looks.
Yeah, I don't
He,
know. I don't know that I'm as confident as you
oh no no no!
are.
My thing is I'm 1,000% confident that he, if nothing funky happens,
Right, right.
just is, man. I mean, you got all these unions, even the unions that have always endorsed one side, either endorsing him
Yeah,
or not endorsing.
not endorsing, which means endorsing him.
Right. Or of
And well,
course,
you got that big deal, yeah, with all of the dock workers that I think they're kind of ticked off. They didn't endorse anybody either. Uh,
you're talking about the well, no,
the
you
guys, whatever, the ones who unload the ships that
right,
were on
right.
strike for a day or two last week when everybody started buying all the toilet paper off the shelves.
That was good on you, America. That was really
Yeah,
smart.
yeah,
By the way, we don't import toilet paper.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's not a cargo ship of toilet paper sitting in the Gulf of Mexico waiting to be unloaded. That stuff all
Yeah,
comes from
yeah.
America. But hey, y'all, you do you folks.
Yeah, I did like
Um,
Ron DeSantis said, forget it, man. We're just going to send the National Guard to unload the ships.
DeSantis is the guy that broke that.
Yeah.
So, besides the guy, whoever the mafia leader that
Dude, that dude, I mean, he drives a
Doug,
Bentley, says he got like a 7,500 square foot house.
yeah,
I'll tell you about this before. I read something that, half of the number of the people that they said were on strike don't actually go to work because they're what you call the no-show jobs, where they're just getting paid for one thing or another because of past contract. Like if, there was in the contract they can't add technology
yeah, I
and they
love that.
do, then this guy goes, yeah, it's like, hey, I'm not working, but you're paying me.
Or they're striking, and for the most part, and look, man, I'm there's two sides to every story. The timing was really bad. The message and the messenger were
Yeah, that
horrible.
dude. Yeah,
You know, he's talking about this about we're gonna break you. You don't know what a strike is like, blah blah. Doing this with a big old gold chain on his neck. I like
yeah.
that. And the guy that headed the union apparently makes all in. He makes over $1 million a year. Okay.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, each of his sons have like, either like quarter million or $500,000 jobs in the union.
yeah, no, no, it is whether you watch The Sopranos or whatever it is. That's what
Yeah.
happens. And I forget the average wage on these dock workers is in the six figures. They said
Yeah,
it's
oh yeah. They said it's easy with overtime for them to make 200 grand.
okay, and they're striking for a 70% pay raise over the next, I guess, 7 years. And
Yeah,
what they turned down was 50%
yeah,
over 5. Okay. So, and then while they're doing that, not a good look, you have this massive hurricane
yeah,
that does, and this is, so, time stamping this, folks. This is a little over a week now
yeah.
out
10
of,
to, I don't know when I guess it got to North Carolina on Friday. So it's 9 days.
but, and then now I don't even know what to think anymore. With the sad part is there's nothing you can tell me anymore about malfeasance, criminality, incompetence, anything to do with any of the letters. Give me the
Yeah,
letter agency, and the big one right now is FEMA.
yeah.
And they can claim all they want about, this is not happening, whatever. There are too many people out there putting out videos,
Right.
including people that people like,
Yeah.
like Glenn Beck. Okay, Glenn,
Yeah, he went up there, huh?
oh man, he's been a hero out there.
Like they want to take control. They're talking about they ran out of money But when they passed the last budget or whatever, they only do budgets on a quarterly basis now. So I
Right.
guess this one was at the end of September. Um, FEMA got an extra $20 billion. So we lost that money in a couple weeks. Or
Well,
spent it
what what
elsewhere.
what they've done? Well, a big part of with FEMA's because it's the same guy, that Mayorkas guy
Yeah.
is over FEMA, National, I guess, Homeland Security, I think it is, or I know he's the board
Yeah,
of
he's
whatever.
FEMA's part of Homeland Security.
All this. So, and about 3 months ago, 4 months ago, whatever it was, is on TV saying, we're good. We got it. We're all. And then while they're doing that, they're taking a bunch of money and spending it on shipping in. Hey,
Yeah,
you give it.
other people
Yeah, other
putting them
people,
up.
non-citizens. All right, call it what you shipping non-citizens and paying for non-citizens all over the country. So we spent all that money. So these folks known as Americans
Yeah.
in the Carolinas and Tennessee and parts of Georgia, whatever, are just devastated and being told now we ain't got no money. We
Yeah, here's $750. I know there's not a store or anything where you could go buy anything with that money, or a bank where you could deposit it.
and they
But
say we're going to give you $750. It they typically send a check.
yeah,
That's the government, right? It's going to
yeah,
be, if you get it, it'll be a week, 10 days longer. Where if where
yeah. I brought my
where
mailbox got knocked down.
that's not. I mean, not funny. It's just right. It's So I don't know. I just shake my head on that and did donate to the Cajun Navy. I
The
think I got
Cajun
one.
Navy, yeah. Don't, yeah. If you're a fan of the Red Cross, uh, I don't agree with you.
That's what I hear. I've not
Uh,
I've not heard
Look,
positive
this
things
was
about the Red Cross. I know that sounds even hard to say. It's
it.
like
It may have been after Hurricane Gustav, here, and there were a bunch of people who had sheltered at a community center down in Gonzales, and local people were coming donating food and everything, bringing supplies. Then the Red Cross got there and cleared everybody out because they were taking over, and then people started getting like a fish stick for dinner,
oh man.
and that's about a literal effort. The Red Cross is, they're just like fundraising whores to me, because supposedly the money they're raising on this disaster doesn't go to this disaster; it goes to the next one.
It it it's sad. It's a problem. And maybe and there are more than, like I said, I do Cajun Navy. But there's more than one Cajun Navy.
Right.
You have to be careful. So my buddy Gavin and I, we made matching donations, but he did Cajun Navy Relief, I think is theirs, and I did
Yeah,
one
I
is
don't. There's a
mine was like
National
United
Cajun Navy. Yeah,
United
United
Cajun Navy,
Cajun. Yeah,
and then
that.
there's another one. But you can see the footage and the stuff
Yeah.
that they do. But then apparently, those of you that, I mean, many of you may know what we're talking about. Some may not. Apparently, FEMA was doing or getting in the way of a lot of things as well.
Right, they do. They try to
Stopping
take over, and I think some of the stuff like what Elon Musk was doing, it's basically is getting those Starlink systems in there to get cell service back, and the government took over the airspace, so it couldn't get anything in there.
or internet. Yeah, I don't know if it's cell service so much or if both cell or.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Starlink systems do, but
But
yeah,
you can get communications in areas that otherwise they're just not. There's
right.
nothing there anymore. There's no wiring. There's no. You have to have power, but they've got generators and stuff to do that. But right, it was sort of a surreal thing too. I saw there was footage of one of the, it might have been Cajun Navy Relief, one of the Cajun Navies, and they had mules, like a long line of going into the fight with mules, and part of the packs on the mules, some of them had those Starlinks, and it's
Yeah.
like that's an interesting
Well, but I was
juxtaposition,
talking
and
to
I
my
don't
dad
know
about
that.
that today. There's no roads. The roads are washed. I mean, you're looking at some of these rural communities. Again, think about where we grew up. If Highway 1 or Highway 308 is gone, you got no way to get there.
This is true. This is
So my
true.
dad said in those areas they were using mules.
I'm trying to see what.
I'm not sure where you just round up mules to bring them in.
Uh, I just got stuck. I used the word one, and it was stuck in my head, and I wasn't sure if I used it right. Juxtaposition.
Uh-huh.
What do you think that means?
Juxtaposition means when you switch meanings of words. Basically, it's the things switch roles or switch positions.
Look at you. I don't even know if that's true, but that sounds good.
It is. It is. I may not be explaining it right.
I just pulled it up. Juxtaposition refers to the act of placing two or more things side by side, often to highlight their differences or to create a contrast. This technique is commonly used in literature, art, and other forms of expression to draw attention to opposing elements, creating a deeper understanding or a new perspective. I don't know if I'm following that. In visual art, bright colors might be juxtaposed with darker tones to create a dramatic effect. I don't know. Is Starlink on a donkey juxtaposition? I don't know.
I think it is. Yeah.
I use the word. I was trying to use it like I knew. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that guy. Use a word that like, ooh, that's smart, and somebody's really smart saying, I don't think that means what you think it means, bro. Juxtapose.
No, that's the word. I like
Anyway,
that word. I don't use it
anyway,
often,
yeah.
but
So
I like
feeling
it.
for it's it's rough. I mean,
Yeah, it's still bad up there.
and I honestly think, and I'm not seeing any new numbers or any new. They are understating how many people got killed.
Oh, well, you're going to find people for months to me. And, maybe they'll be presumed deceased, but, mudslides and all of that.
Some of the footage is just insane. It's you
Yeah, you
look
got
at it
whole towns that aren't there anymore.
and you realize what water,
Yeah.
man. You get a wall of water moving. It just there's no nothing. It's nothing's gonna hold up. Just
Right. And
building.
I guess there's probably a lot of mudslides and everything caused by the rain. And it wasn't so much the wind from what I'm hearing.
Yeah. No. This was pure, about a trillion gallons
Mm-hmm.
of rain dumped on a rocky soil, and so thoughts and prayers, and those that can help try to help. We know a little bit about what it's like, and then while we're doing this, another hurricane in the Gulf right now, literally. But I think it became a
Yeah.
named storm today. It's not. I
Yeah,
don't
a
think
little
it's
while
going to
ago
Louisiana.
became Hurricane Milton. So I don't know how we went from Helene to Milton in a week.
Hijkl. Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, I got a couple other ones out there.
Must
Like
must
Isaac's out there somewhere in out by Africa or something. And
but they're calling for it to be, man, that's just not good.
I think Wednesday or Thursday, because
Yeah.
I think closer to Thursday, because I was worried at first because like I said, my daughter's in South Florida.
Okay.
She flies home Tuesday night, so she should be all right.
Okay. It said Tampa the right now it looks like it's heading to Tampa Bay or that area. But I think they're saying Cat 3, which
I think it's going to be a cat. Well, it became a hurricane today, so it's a cat one. So I think they're thinking it'll be a cat three by the time it hits.
man, all right. Shut that down, guys. Enough of this.
Yeah, we only got a couple more weeks of hurricane season. That'll be done because hurricanes pay attention to the calendar.
Well, like I said, it's everybody around, here, well, twice this year. So I had one in Houston and one in, Thibodeau. So nerves are a bit frazzled with storms this year, but that's what I tell folks. It's only a one.
Yeah, if you drive down right now, still in Assumption Parish, um, there's branches all over them. I mean, still, like at my dad's house, they piled it up on the side of the road and everything, um, instead of burning it. But apparently they're gonna have trouble getting his. They got his neighbors, but he's got a big oak tree and it hangs down low. So whatever kind of machinery they use to scoop it up off the ground,
hmm
uh, probably needs a little more clearance than what he's providing.
Well, we're going to see. So yeah, like I said, I'm good on that. What else? Was I jotting down here? What other things happened this week? Uh, this is a first world problem, and I'm going to say this, and it's just like, you ever get really, really, really annoyed about something, and then it's such a trivial thing, or it's such a first world problem that you're embarrassed how mad you are at something. Okay, this is gonna sound so I'm on a plane to go to Chicago, and it's United. United's, whatever. And I was scheduled for a seat in the front of the plane. All right, so I'm sitting first class, and there's normally 24 seats. Okay, which four,
Yeah,
each
six
row
rows.
has four seats, 6 rows. And this is gonna sound silly, y'all, but if ever you're gonna sit in first class, try to sit as far up in first class as you can, because there's literally different levels of service, because they start serving in the front and they're slow. Like people on a plane, they don't get paid any.
Yeah, it's an hourly wage. They're not making commission off of your
They don't
drinks.
care. They don't care. So I gotta get on a plane, and they changed our planes, right? And they put us on the 787 with
Wow, it's big.
yeah, big. Okay. Now the seats are kind of cool. The seats are sort of like the cubicles. You kind of like can really, you
Yeah,
sort of have total privacy on the seat. That part, But I end up like on row. I don't know. I'm mid cabin now.
you're schlepping first class.
I'm schlepping, man,
You-
and because
You're the first class. You're the loser among the winners.
they start serving food, and I'm not kidding you when I tell you that people in the front have eaten by the time you get right. And the same thing, you can say whatever you want, whatever drink, whatever, you're done. Like by the time they bring, okay, and I'm sitting there getting annoyed, like beyond annoyed, thinking, okay, this was, you know, my ancestors, my grandfathers and grandmothers would, you know, say
Would smack you silly for
what kind
thinking
of
such a
spoiled,
thing.
what kind of spoiled chew is sitting on a getting aggravated, but I just thought about that. I was like, at least I have I still have the
You've got
wherewithal
the self-awareness to
to be
know
to be embarrassed.
yeah,
Like, man, I
to
can't.
be embarrassed by the level of what ego you have.
What's that ego? It's just I feel like, man, I think I'm being gypped. I think I'm being gypped. I think because they're sitting,
Yeah, say, hey, how about on the way back, you start in the back row?
help me out here. Help help me out. But no. So a little bit embarrassed. Not embarrassed enough to share it with you, but
Well, yeah, you
never
got to
know.
do what you got to do. Well, my son, the one that went to Minnesota, flew on. I had never heard of this airline, Suncoast Airline,
Jeez.
and it's
I
out of
may have
Minnesota, but it's out of Minnesota. And I mean, he had a straight flight from New Orleans.
okay.
But I'm thinking, if it's out of Minnesota, why is it called Sun Coast? It's the coast of a
Uh,
lake. I don't know.
no, I
Maybe I'm
mean,
wrong. Maybe it's not out of Minnesota.
because it sounded good. I don't know. I mean, part of me, you hear those. It sounds like onesie twosie airlines,
Hmm.
and you feel like, should I trust it? But look, man, it most of the time when you hear these issues happening with planes, these are major.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
United, it's American, it's
Well,
so
I was surprised. So when I brought my daughter to the airport, I mean, she's 17, so technically she's flying as an unescorted minor.
okay.
Um, but so I went to the desk with her when she checked her bag, and I said, "Okay, I said, do I need to be with her when she gets to security?" He said, "No, you don't need to be with her now." I said, "Okay, well, whatever." So I was gonna at least watch her walk through, make sure she got through security. Um, but there was zero line, like on a Saturday. And if
Hmm.
you've flown into New Orleans, haven't you? All
Oh
the
yeah,
airlines go through one security area.
yeah, yeah.
So I was able to get in and out of the parking lot within 30 minutes and save that $3 parking fee.
Well, that's important thing,
Yeah,
honey.
winning.
Honey, I'd like to hang around and make sure you got on your plane, but I'm gonna save the $3.
Yeah, yeah. Text me when you get there.
Call me if you need something. Ever told you the time about I flew on Cape Air?
Mm-mm.
This was a while back. A while back. I'm trying to think.
Where's that out of?
Well, they still
Like,
flies out of Boston, so they
okay.
fly little planes. It used to. Now again, I'm trying to think. Juan, this was a while back. It might have been. Oh man, it could have been before 9/11. If it was, it wasn't very long before 9/11. Could have been right. I forget. But So from Boston, and I was going to Martha's Vineyard. All right, and it's an easy way to get there. Like I wasn't going to drive and take a ferry or whatever. So Cape Air, right? And this was back before I paid attention to. I just said, oh, direct flight. It's direct flight. It's barely. And it's a plane, prop plane, and I don't know how much it's. I think we sat 10 people on that thing, give or take 10, maybe a little more. But it's one of those situations where uh, they have to put your bags in different places, like the different storage places on this plane, and
You got to balance it out, man.
how heavy the bags are,
Yeah.
and then have you. And I was yeah,
Yeah,
but
big guy. You come sit up here on a row by yourself.
but the thing about it, what I remember about getting on this, and this is out of Logan Airport, man. So I get on Cape Air, and we taxi out there. Bang. It was after 9/11. I do remember this now. Yeah. And when you're sitting on a runway or the side of the runway, waiting on like a 757 to take off, and you're in a go-kart. That's what it felt like. I can remember because you're not sitting, but about maybe we're not even 10 feet off the ground. Not
Right.
even.
I don't think you realize how small a small plane is until it's right beside one of those big old ones.
And this, it was a 757 that took off right before us. And there were two things I was thinking of. One, because they were saying like it wasn't all that long before then, they claimed that a plane had got caught up in the
The
back,
jet stream or the
whatever.
backwash.
So I was thinking, whoa, wait. Like let that plane give that guy a head start, let him go. But then while we're sitting on the runway, the other thing I'm thinking is, I hope they can see us. Like we got to look like a goose to the next big old plane. That's of course
they'll
they don't.
move. They'll move. Just to blow it horn.
But yeah, Cape. I remember Cape Air.
Yeah, taking you right into Cape Fear.
Right. I went to Martha's Vineyard, and they let me stay. I wasn't quite like the busload of migrants that they let they let me stay for a little bit there. Used to be a nice
Nice.
used to be a nice place. Oh man, what else we got going on this week? Any
Man, it's like a slow week for me. Like I said, apparently, my family gets or brings my stories in, but nothing major. Just countdown to the election. We got local elections going on here, which I'm not paying any attention to. Um, I guess since New Orleans is losing or the Saints are losing, murders are back. Back on the table again.
who asked me that today? My friend Kurt. He said something about he said that asked me is the murders because all the people that were off this week or not playing on.
Yeah, Baton Rouge, is a big LSU town, but fortunately for the criminals, they don't take off when LSU's winning.
They don't.
And unfortunately for the non-criminals, but everybody else. Dude, I was driving down the road the other day, and this place that used to be a convenience store, it's just closed now. About a year or so ago, I think I'd mentioned it that there was like a murder in there at 7 o'clock at night, and the store was open the next morning at 7 o'clock. So they wouldn't let no chalk line deter them from opening.
Will not stop commerce, man. Will not.
But
stop
now
commerce.
the store it's closed, so it's like nice little overhang where the homeless drug addicts hang out. Okay. And I was at a traffic light the other day, right there, and I swear this dude was shooting up, and I kept trying to see, because they were bent over and looked like had their back to the road.
That's a little depressing. All right.
Oh, yeah, well, so right there in beautiful Baton Rouge.
Red stick, man. Red stick. Oh, you know what? I don't know what I'm thinking about this, but I'll see what comes of it. My younger son reached out to me, and I say reached out to me. It's weird. Yeah, exactly. If he texts me with any piece of information that I did not ask for, it's an event. Like, oh wait, and I guess in one of his classes he's going to do a biography, like his communications classes biography, and I think he got assigned Harold Calle.
Oh wow.
Right. Because in Nickel State,
Yeah,
his name is on
they pay for it.
the big facility, the
Yeah,
it's not the gym, but and
the media center.
yeah, I told well, I texted back saying, "Oh, dude, I'll probably get you lined up with some some family members there." I said,
Right,
I
right. Or
said,
you could give them some information that they aren't wanting to, to be included in the biography.
"Oh man, I'm sure it's going to be a very, very, very positive thing." I said, I said, man, me and Juan used to
Yeah, or
work on
how?
one of the companies he owned.
Yeah, well,
Probably one of
the some of the reasons that um they I guess involved that or got involved is because of Hal's daughter-in-law, who coincidentally named their son Hal. Remember we used to talk about little Hal.
yeah, yeah. So, and I said exactly.
Yeah, little
So
Hal's got to be like a 40-something-year-old man by
I don't know,
now.
man. I don't. I don't know how it works. I haven't kept up with everybody. I just know that it's a small world. So my son is having to do a film bio on
Yeah, for
somebody that
those of you who don't know, Harold Calle used to own, if you're familiar with down the bayou in Louisiana, he owned a couple radio stations down there that Dave and I worked for, as well as the local cable TV affiliate.
and then I think some solid
Some
waste
banks and stuff,
and
or
a lot
maybe,
of very extremely successful person. Although I am pretty sure the one of the proudest business accomplishments was you and I were employees.
well, that was, was a milestone for him, man.
I'm sure. I'm sure they came up at all the company celebrations, but so I'd be curious.
They've got, I think it's maybe the sisters or the wives have a camp on Bell River
Oh, okay,
that when you drive by it, compared to everything else, you go, wow.
nice.
And it's, it's got a big fence around it. And I think it's got street signs with the children's names on it.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, maybe we can see. I see my son can line up an interview out there.
And there you go.
I
Do it
kind
from Bell
I kind
River.
of volunteered you. I texted him saying, "I bet you want to do some voiceover work for you if you need it."
Yeah,
And just
there you go. Harold Calle.
man, whatever, Again, it's just one of these things, one of these small world things. Like, yep. Well, I
Dude,
used
I
to
did
say
some
that when
voice
I
stuff
went.
the other day. Another thing, and I don't even know who the ultimate client is. 'Cause it's I get it third hand basically. Um, but it's talking about Louisiana politics and how uh Governor Landry is fighting the insurance company, and he's already vetoed bills and cut our insurance rates. And I'm saying now, I'm saying, when is that going to trickle down to me? Because
That's
I
kind
don't
of
think I'm getting any of that.
news. Yeah, because I insurance rates in Louisiana. I have interest in those too. Um, bring that down, Jeff.
Mm.
Do that. Bring it down. Um, but yeah, no, I used to tell my son when we first started, hanging around Nichols. I work for about all the names on those buildings, right? Like, you're going, I know that one. Work for that one. Work for that one. We need our name on a building, Juan. What's it
Well,
take?
maybe
We either
yeah,
need to make enough money to get
Go Hall got the roof blown off in the hurricane. Maybe just for for fun, they could name it the Dave and Juan roof on the Go Hall.
uh, what's a roof run? I don't know. It don't cost as much as you think sometimes. I know. I'm pretty sure for the big buildings, you pony
It
up a
was a
little
metal
bit.
roof, so it's up there.
Yeah, maybe we can go
More
patch
than
it.
I'd be willing to invest.
That's right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, maybe one of your new buddies from Chicago could underwrite that cost.
That's what I was thinking. I'm sitting in that room thinking, man,
Yeah,
some, some,
bro.
some,
What you look, man? I got a roof I need named after
somebody,
me.
I'm thinking of somebody would blow up this room. They'd like literally like there'd be stock market implications. Not kidding. I get nervous for stuff like that when and it's happened a few times, but I'm looking around and when there's like a lot of really important people in the room, I'm like, this would make the news, man. This would, you know, I'm surprised about that too. And this is going to sound, weird, not weird, but some of these guys, I'm thinking, you don't have security. Like,
Yeah, it's
I know after in 2008. when they had the economic crash and everything, and the president who was in charge decided to make bankers the face of evil. I mean, just always bashing bankers, where a lot of the senior people of these big banks had to get security, had to get um, because right, everybody was blaming.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't want to
Blame
pop
money.
anybody's bubble, but it really wasn't their fault.
No, no.
But
I'm gonna see next weekend. I'm gonna see Louisiana, the richest citizen. I don't think he travels with security, but I'll let you know.
I think he should. I'm sorry, man. You get to the point where there's a B in front of
He
your
might.
worth.
He might. I don't know.
I think you got to, man. I mean, if you get to the point, dude, if I wouldn't have to be near there for me to get security. I just, I go in debt. I
You're
go
probably
in
a lot
debt
easier
getting
to
security.
dislike than him, though. No, I'm going. He could be at the high school football game here because he's being inducted into their athletic hall of fame, which I
There
did
you
not
go.
know that they had. And I know he was an athlete, but my guess is, yeah, it's just me. I don't have this as fact. I'm thinking that some of his donations may have influenced the balloting on that.
Yeah, he's an athlete and very successful selling chicken.
Yep. And I'm gonna make sure I'm there to talk about NIL deals.
Well, good luck with that. What day
Yeah.
is that?
Friday.
All right. Let us know.
I'm gonna just say, hey, what do I got to do, man? I know, yeah, I'm sure he's not, you striking the pen on that stuff. But
We see your daughter swimming at UH with a Canes cap on.
yeah, hey, man, I got pictures of her drinking cane sauce as a young baby.
There you go. Get at it. Get at it. Well, on that positive note, that's
Yeah,
we got to complain about some stuff. That's a image of a baby drinking cane
drinking
sauce.
cane
That's a
sauce.
positive note. We're gonna push the button. Get on out of here. Hey, gonna see if any of it stuck to the magic tape in the sky. Hey, y'all, you want to reach us? Not hard to do. Dave and Juan at protonmail.com and
And right here.
wherever you got us now. That's if you want to reach out and ask us a question or tell us something. Be nice. You know, can't be nice. We're just gonna spam. All right, but ask whatever you need to know. And yeah, wherever you're listening or watching now.
Yeah, and look, man, if one's not enough, they got a lot of other ones to go back on.
That's right. Oh my gosh, I think it's number 184. I think.
Yeah,
184.
180 something.
It's up there. There are a few. So if something happens and
I hadn't done many things in my life for this long.
No, no, to the point now that even my wife, when I'm saying we got other things going on, oh yeah, I gotta do it, and I don't even get grief. I'm just like, oh, or I'll get asked so when are you doing the podcast this weekend? Like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know, depends.
Yeah,
I
that's
got to
what
go to a
my wife would
game.
say. When's the podcast? I said, I'm open, so I didn't even throw out any time. So whenever Dave texts me and said we're
Oh
doing it,
man,
ask when we're
yeah.
doing it. I'll tell you then.
America, it's tough. It's tough doing it when you got a game, man. It's tough. But hey, we do it for you, America, because we care. Because we care. All right. Every week we tell you, not a suggestion, not a hint, not a subtle,
No, man.
implication. It's not a juxtaposition.
It's not. Nope. It's not
Just
irony.
gonna use that word again, but it's a freaking
it's a freaking mandate.
mandate.
You got to do it. Look, man. If Dave spent the day trying to jump off an ambulance,
Man, yes.
yeah, so he could help you have the best week of your life, the least you could do
it
is
for
have
you.
the best week of your life.
Doing it for you. I was almost having to tell. We're stuck in that parking lot for quite some time, and I was embarrassed to say,
people are waiting
"Hey,
on you, Dave. You're the man of the people."
that's right. America's waiting, y'all. We got to get this ambulance jumped, and I got to get back to the house. America is waiting, but we do it for you guys, right? So you having a great day, make it a better day, all right? You can still
Have
get
3.
better. Having a terrible day, you know what? Tomorrow's a new time. Get up,
Start over.
go get them, go get them. All right. So you guys do that, and we'll try it on our end. We'll see, get together and see what happens next week. We'll come back and talk about it again. Thoughts and prayers to everybody who is still being affected in the aftermath of Helene and whatever this other Couillon hurricane they got coming.
Hurricane
Louisiana,
Milton.
Louisiana peeps. I think you guys are okay on that. But anybody out there in Florida, hey, good luck with it. and hopefully FEMA get out of your way. We'll see what we can do. All right. Have a great one, everybody. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. So have you heard the commercial for Trump's shoes? The new low sneakers?
No.
They're on anything on Fox or on the I tell you, I listen to Megyn Kelly and stuff, so podcasts like that, and it's total Trump, where it starts like, hello America, this is your favorite president, Donald J. Trump. And he talks about how fast those sneakers he sold last summer went. Well, these are gonna go even quicker. My favorite part, though, is at the end when the announcer just comes on and says, not intended for investment purposes. Which is just, it's just totally good. Some dudes say, oh man, these things go up in price. I got to buy these tickets. These shoes. I'm going to sell them, make me some money.
Trump shoes.
They got Trump watches now because it's Trump time.
You're going to do what you're going to do.
Well, he's not going to stop doing that. So
leopard doesn't change its spots. It's like, whatever. Trump steaks, Trump water. That was my favorite water.
Trump ties.
It's over. Go home.